So peace everybody. I am doing a reading. Well, it's not a reading. This is I'm going to be talking more about manifestation um and different tools and tips and techniques you can do to step up your manifestation game. And don't forget that you can pre-order my Creation Station e-course that will give you everything you need to learn how to manifest effectively and create the life that you want. So I actually got a lot of cards this time. So we'll see what comes up. But interestingly enough, the first card that I pulled is very relevant to some current events that's going on right now. So it says, if I'm resisting evil, I'm attracting evil. So here's what the card looks like, right? Let me show it over here for you guys. And on the back it says, if you are resisting anything, you are focused upon it, pushing against it and activating the vibration of it, and therefore attracting that which is like it. So what that basically means is you always want to be mindful of any thoughts that you're thinking or any energy that you're holding in regards to something else. So it says, if I'm resisting evil, I'm attracting it, right? So just in you focusing on evil, even though you're saying I'm resisting it, but your energy and your vibration is focused on evil. The universe does not know the difference between you saying you're resisting it, or you saying you're attracting it, or you're saying you love it, or you saying you hate it. The only thing it focuses on is the subject, which is evil or whatever the subject might be. So I know, like, particularly right now, like I said, this is very relevant to current events, things going on in the world. I think you all know what I'm referencing. And it's more important now than ever to not allow external sources to cause you to react in a certain way or to dictate your vibration in any way. So like I said, it's never in your best interest to live in a state of fear or to have any vibrational energy that involves fear. So instead of saying, I'm not afraid, say what you are. So that's a good tip. So when you do these affirmations or when you have this self-talk with yourself, you always want to speak from the perspective of the glass being half full versus half empty. And when you speak that way, it's always easier for you to speak from the energy of what you want versus what you don't want. So instead of you saying, I'm not afraid, you can say, I am strong, or I don't know, I'm only living in love, or I'm protected, or I'm safe, or you know what I'm saying? So especially now more than ever, like, there's so many things that are programming or attempting to program the state of consciousness of everybody right now. So it's more important than ever for you to master your own energy and your own vibration so that um, you are not manipulated into doing or believing things that you otherwise might not, or that are not in your best interest, that are in someone else's best interest. And I mean, I mentioned before, if it's something that you're challenged with, you should definitely limit your exposure to those external influences. But yeah, it's really like, I mean, or not, you have the freedom to choose what energies you allow into your space and what vibration that you want to exist on. But like I said, these are all things that are in your best interest. These are all things to help you be the best version of your highest self as possible. And see if I'm getting anything else from this card. Yeah, you just want to make sure that you're really clear about what it is that you're focusing on, what it is that you're devoting your time and energy to. So I'm going to move on from there. The next card that I pulled says, I cannot create in the experience of another, which is also really relevant to current events, in my opinion. So you see the little person at the top in that really big dress that they're trying to fit into, but obviously it doesn't fit. Let me show it over here for y'all. Right? So the back of the card says, you cannot create in the experience of another because you cannot think their thoughts. What you can do for them is set the example of joy. Become a being who thinks only of that which you are wanting, who speaks only of that which you are wanting, and who does only that which you are wanting, and therefore brings forth only joyful emotion. So no, like, these cards can be like very can word things that can be kind of confusing, but basically what it's saying is only think what you want, only speak what you want, and only do what you want. Because the more you have those experiences and the more you live in that vibration, the more you can raise your own vibration and live more in that vibration, and it just feeds off of itself like that. But it's saying that, basically stay in your own lane. Everybody's on their own journey and everybody's walking their own path. So it's never, you don't want to compare yourself to anyone else. You don't want to compare your journey to anybody else's. You don't want to say like, where you think you should be based on what somebody else is doing, or what you think you should have based on what somebody else has. You're definitely not going to be able to manifest anything with those thoughts. And it's really not fair to yourself. You gotta be gentle with yourself and remember that, you are exactly where you need to be, and you are exactly who you need to be at that point in time. The fact that you are even listening to these videos right now is proof that, you're aware on some level that, these thoughts are not serving you, and maybe you just need some guidance on like how to be more intentional with your thoughts, or how to be more gentle with yourself, or um just how not to get caught up in that game of comparison. I know it's very easy to do. Like, I used to do it all the time, especially as a child, or like when you reach these so-called milestones where, you know, for example, if I went to a certain type of school and it was a prestigious school, right? And maybe my classmates, maybe say like 85% of them are working at these Fortune 500 companies, and maybe I'm working at a nonprofit, and to, you know, to be like, oh, well, I should be where they are. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just not fair. I know for me personally, like, I'm not even a little bit of the person that I was when I was younger. So, of course, I'm not going to end up where other people end up, because I'm not even the same person. And 9 times out of 10, like, a lot of people I grew up probably are exactly the same people inside that they were. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like I said, everybody's on their journey. It's very important to remember, you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody's on their own path, and everybody's exactly where they should be on that path. Um, because your path is determined by, you're not going to get nothing that you're not ready for. You know what I'm saying? So if you are in a place where whatever place that you're in, that is a reflection of your energy and your vibration. And so until you choose to change that energy and vibration, you're going to be exactly where you've always been. And like I said, it's nothing wrong with that. But if your goal is to grow and evolve, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, physically, you always want to be looking for, or you always want to be open to receiving opportunities to grow and to see life differently and to look at things differently. Um, and another good example is that, you know, a lot of times you might want to emulate people based on where they are in their journey. So I would say, don't necessarily use them as a blueprint or an example of where you want to go. You can take like bits and pieces of what it is, get really specific about what it is that you admire about that person, and that what it is that you may want to incorporate into your own life. Um, but don't want to be that person and want to be who they are and dress how they dress, and you know what I'm saying? Like, we're all individuals and we're all unique for a reason, despite what you've been taught. Like, I always think it's funny, especially like right around this time, um, when people are going back to school, and like, I live close to a college campus, so I can literally drive down the street and it's like a sea of clones, because everybody wearing the same thing, everybody's hair is the same way, everybody, like, it's like the weirdest thing to me. But you know, when I was that age, I'm sure I was wearing what everybody else was wearing too. You know, it's natural because that's what you're taught to do. Um, and more than that, you know, a lot of times people don't realize that you have other options. You know what I'm saying? If you're the type of person that just goes to the mall and buys whatever's there. Of course, you're going to be wearing what everybody else is wearing. Like, I don't even buy stuff off the rack anymore because that's a whole other conversation. But yeah, like once you feel like secure and comfortable in your own individuality, like especially like for a creative person like me, like it's so many opportunities to just be that much more creative. Like I have sketches of outfits that I would like to be made, and if anybody is a seamstress or anything like that, fashion designer, clothing designer, and can put these outfits together for me, please hit me up. It was a point where I was like, I might attempt it, but I just am focused on other things right now. So I just say all that to say, explore being unique, explore that unique side of yourself, and be confident in it and be comfortable in it. And the people that might put you down for it are really probably secretly wishing that they had the courage that you have to be an individual and be unique and be different. And it just puts you in a better place to be vibrationally in a state where you can manifest things. Because if you are really living in your uniqueness, it's going to bring that vibration of joy. And the more you're in that vibration, the easier it is for you to create things. Just like you can create an outfit, you can create a life for yourself. So yeah, that card, I said a lot more than I thought I would. Okay, let me see. Am I getting anything else? Yeah, another thing is like when you compare yourself to other people, or you compare your journey to other people, that vibration and that energy itself is not a joyful vibration. So that should be like your first indicator that, it's probably not in your best interest to even like think about it. Like if you're sitting there like, oh, I wish my life was like theirs. Like that whole energy is so like low and dense. You know what I'm saying? So that should be your first indicator. Like, let me course correct. Let me think something different. Let me think something that will bring me more joy. Because you always want to be in that state of joy. As often as you can. So the next card that I pulled, it says, I see myself enjoying absolute continuing abundance. And this is what it looks like. And on the back it says, I choose absolute and continuing abundance, for I understand that there is no limit to the abundance in the universe. And so by my attracting abundance to myself, I am not limiting another. There is enough for everyone. The key is for each of us to see it and want it, and then we will each attract it. So what came up for me, like what I interpreted from this card is that there's no need for competition. I know, especially like for a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of people that work for themselves, a lot of light workers that do spiritual work. Sometimes you might feel like, for example, if you go on YouTube, there's like literally like a million people doing astrology readings. So, here's my reading for September for Aries through Pisces. You know what I'm saying? And so if you are someone who is also considering doing that, you might feel like, well, what's the point? Because, there's already a million people doing it. But there, especially with any business, it goes back to what I was saying about being unique. Like, we all have these unique combinations of different energies and skill sets and talents and gifts and abilities. And so, of course, there are a lot of intuitives, there are a lot of coaches, because everybody's vibration is different. So I could say literally word for word the same thing that somebody else says, but because their energy is different, you might receive it better from them than you would from me. Same thing with, like, once you really get into the spiritual work and you have to do a lot of that inner work, it can be really challenging because you have to, like, face your fears and face your grief and all of that and do a lot of healing. And so when you're in that vulnerable state, a lot of times, like, some people benefit from saying, you better suck that shit up and stop crying. And some people benefit more from, like, oh, it's okay. It's okay. So it just really, you're not saying anything different as a light worker. Essentially, well, if you're an honorable light worker, you're not necessarily giving all of these clients different messages, but the package or the delivery or the energy behind it or the vibrational match that you have with a client is what makes you just being yourself. You are the niche. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I say all that to say that, there's enough of everything out there for you to do your thing and stay in your lane and just do you and do you to the best of your ability, even though other people might be technically doing what you do. Like, how many musicians are there in the world? But everybody's, even to do a cover, like, there are lots of people who do covers, and I'm like, I prefer the original, and some people prefer the newer version. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're literally saying the exact same thing, but it's the vibration of the person receiving it that is what makes you as an individual more important to be that individual, if that makes sense. And, like, there's no need for a competition. There's no need to say, I gotta grab that client, or I gotta make that money over here, because if I don't, somebody else is going to do it. I gotta beat them to the punch, or I gotta, I can't share my, my tricks to how I get stuff done, because then you gonna know my secrets, and then we gonna be competing for the same people or for the same money or whatever. You don't need to do all that. Like, that's unnecessary. It's enough for everybody. It literally is enough for everybody. Like, and there's enough for you. Like, also, don't limit yourself. Why can't you have that 4-bedroom house? Like, why can't you be somebody that travels once a month to foreign countries? Why can't you have that? Why can't you just live at home and take care of your house and have everything that you need and not have to work for somebody else? You know what I'm saying? Like, don't limit yourself either. Don't limit your goals. Don't limit your dreams. Yeah, just don't limit yourself. Don't underestimate yourself, and just, focus on doing you, and doing, like, focus on your gifts and your ability and what you have to offer to the world, and don't ever feel like what's the point, or somebody else is already doing that, so I shouldn't even bother, or like, don't limit yourself. Like, I can't I can't say it no other way. All right. Okay. Another card I pulled. It says, I let my action be action enjoying. And I'm gonna tell you right now, this one is like worded kind of weird, but this is what the card looks like. It's like a little, it's a person with butterfly wings. I couldn't tell if that was a baby or not. And on the back it says, you have intended action. Action is part of the deliciousness of your physical world, but you did not intend to create through physical bodily action. You intended to use your body to enjoy the actions that you have created through your thoughts. So basically what it's saying is, it goes back to when I talked about being versus doing. So we are encouraged to just always be busy, 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 always be doing, doing, doing. We are also encouraged in society to equate results with effort. So, like, the harder you work, the bigger your reward is going to be. And that's just not how the universal laws work. So this card is saying you didn't intend to create through physical bodily action. You intended to use your body to enjoy the actions that you have created through your thought. It all go back to thought. Everything is about thought. Everything is created from thought, not action. The action that you have, or the action that you take, is as a result of you manifesting from your thoughts. So you intend to, I don't know, have a dream house, right? And so you do all your work with manifesting it, and it manifests. And now you're living in your dream house. And now you're doing cartwheels through your dream house because you're at such a joyful vibration. And that is your body, or you're swimming in your beautiful pool. Like, that is your body enjoying the manifestation that was created from your thoughts, if that makes sense. I'm trying to simplify it, but I can't think of a good example. So that's what this card is saying. Like, focus more on setting that intention with your thoughts and doing the manifestation work behind that. And once your manifestation has been created, then you can physically enjoy it, because we're all spiritual beings, but you came into a body to have physical enjoyment, like to taste and eat really delicious food, or to feel the sun on your skin, or you know what I'm saying. So the manifestation is not in you doing anything physically. It all starts up here. It's always about your thoughts and your intentions and your vibration and your energy. So that's an important reminder. And then the last card that I pulled, it says, I can change my life through changing my thoughts. See how repetitive this deck is? but the crazy part is, like, you really, in order to incorporate these things into your lifestyle and to make it second nature and not something that you have to look up in a book to remember or something that you know forget about and fall back into old habits. It's so helpful to have these um reminders and to have all of this repetitive information, because the more you are reminded, the more you're going to remember to do it. It's like anything, it's like practice, like anything else. The more you practice, the more you're going to get better at it. um so the back of the card says, by choosing a thought that feels slightly better than the thoughts you have been thinking, you can gradually change the direction of your thoughts. By focusing upon a better feeling thought, the law of attraction will respond to that thought, and therefore the balance of your thoughts will now improve. So this is exactly what I talked about in my new moon reading. I can't remember which sign it was in. Um, but if you go to my IG page, because I was trying to explain it in the video of like this spiral thing, right? So if you go to my IG page, there's a picture, and I'll when I edit this video, I'll put it in there. There's a picture of like a vibrational spiral and how your thoughts can spiral upward or spiral downward into that lower vibration. And I talked about how you can you know just start with baby steps, like if you find yourself in a lower vibration and you are having challenges like digging yourself out of a low place, a low emotional state, depression, anything like that, right? It's easier to work your way up and build up to better thoughts. So what I recommended was to start with 60 seconds and see if you can focus on something positive for 60 seconds. And then that 60 seconds can turn into 65 or turn in 85 or turn into a whole hour. And eventually you'll see that by repeatedly doing this, you'll see that it becomes easier to stay in that state, that higher state, even if it's, you know, just for a small amount of time out of those 24 hours. And you'll see that every day you might feel a little bit better, you know what I'm saying? And just take those baby steps. Because it's all, I mean, if you think about like being in that lower vibrational energy, it took some time for you to get all the way down there, to get all the way into that dense energy, where you're like legit depressed, right? So, you know, you got to work yourself back up the same way you worked yourself all the way down there. So just take those baby steps. You know, figure out what it is that you like or what it is that brings you joy. And I know, like, if you're legit depressed, then it's probably a challenge to find something. But even if it's like you really love chocolate milkshakes, go get you like the best chocolate milkshake that they make in your area. I personally will drive to go get some good food. So if you need to go out of state, please do that. And while you're drinking that milkshake, I don't know how long it takes to drink a milkshake, but in those 10 or 15 minutes, just really just enjoy the milkshake. And you know what I'm saying? Like just start with baby steps and you'll gradually find more and more things to enjoy. And the more things you find to enjoy, the more you'll feed that vibrational state, and then you'll, you know, raise your vibration little by little. Again, like, you know, be gentle with yourself. Don't be hard on yourself. and don't compare your journey to anybody else's. Don't feel like, oh, I've been doing this for a month now, I should be here or there or wherever. And yeah, I mean, it's all about, like, at the end of the day, I can't even say manifestation is the goal. It's more about just you being in that joyful state. Just you being as happy as you possibly can, because when you're in that vibration, anything that you want will come to you, whether you're trying or not, whether you set the intention or not. Like, that's what the law of attraction is. It has nothing else to do but come to you like a magnet. You know what I'm saying? So just want to focus on just being happy, just being joyful, being elated. You know what I'm saying? And, really learning yourself and who you are and what you have to offer to the world and what makes you tick and what makes you unique and what brings you that joy. You know what I'm saying? No matter how far-fetched it might seem to you, or how far away it might seem to you, or like I said, don't sell yourself short. So hope this has been helpful. I didn't see nobody join my live today, so maybe I'll do it again, maybe I won't. But as always, please let me know if you have any questions, if you have any topics that you want me to specifically cover. Don't forget to pre-order my e-course, my Creation Station e-course. All my links are in my descriptions, whether you're on IG or YouTube or Facebook. I think it's on Facebook. Also, I'm looking for calling all of my fellow software engineering people. Can we please get a legit social media app going? Because I am not feeling any of these platforms lately. I am also doing I have been challenged to do some energy readings for practice. So if anybody wants to volunteer to let me practice doing an energy reading on them, you don't have to be in person, and I don't even have to, like, we can do it over the phone, or you can just tell me and I can pick up on your energy without talking to you. I could do it either way. But just for me to get practice so that I have, an abundance of different ways to channel guidance for people. And you get a free reading. Like, you can't beat that. Anything else? I hope y'all enjoy the weekend. I hope you enjoy every day. Every day should feel like a Saturday. Every day should be a Saturday. I'm rambling. All right. Have a great day. Have a great day, everybody.